I've said this for the last probably 6 or 7 years to anyone that will listen. I think one of the biggest accomplishments in golf right now is winning an away Ryder Cup. And that's what we're going to do at Bethpage.
Go on, Rory.
Yeah, you go.
Okay, Rory.
I think when Rory said that it's the hardest thing to do in golf, you know, he's had some tough experiences on away Ryder Cups. You look at 2021, our worst defeat ever. You saw the emotion pouring out of him after the singles.
I love my teammates so much, and I should have done more for them this week. I just can't wait to get another shot at this.
You know, it's some scar tissue there for Rory, and he wants to change that.
When Rory said how hard it is to win away, I mean, he knows what he's talking about. That's what history shows.
America have won the cup.
It's very hard to not realise, unless you're stupid, that they're shouting louder for the home crowd than they are for you. That's where you need a captain that's been through the mill.
Luke's not afraid of the challenge. Being the captain away from home is going to be very, very difficult, and especially at New York.
You need to be armoured mentally. And you've got to turn that into determination. Tough.
Luke may well go down as the greatest Ryder Cup captain that Europe has ever had. What he did in Rome was the best cohesive team that I've ever seen.
He sees being a captain as almost like an act of service. He loves passing on his knowledge to the next generation.
I was on 2 away winning Ryder Cup, so it can be done, but it hasn't been done since 2012, and I'd like to try and change that.
You want them to show up with their best game and still kick their ass. And that's where the fun lies if you're a true competitor, if you're a warrior.
There's a saying, no pressure, no diamonds, right? I'm fine with pressure as long as I've done the work and done the preparation. Nothing good happens unless it's tough.
Bethpage State Park is, I think, first comes to mind is golf. We have 5 golf courses. We're part of the New York State Park system, and our 5 golf courses are open to the public. So anyone can play here. By 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock today, there'll be people waiting in the parking lot to play tomorrow. So there's people here all the time. It's the golf course that doesn't sleep.
791, 792.
We do a lot of golf. We had about 250,000 rounds last year, so quite a bit. 250,000 golfers in a year is kind of fun to have. I think anyone who calls himself a golf nut or a golf junkie has been to Bethpage or has to get here.
I think Bethpage as a whole is an amazing facility. It represents an opportunity for the everyday man to play major style golf course. It's a tough golf course, it's a big golf course.
The Black course was opened in 1936, and I think for a number of years it was sort of a sleeping giant. In 1997 is when the USGA announced that they were going to have the US Open here. And then since then we've kind of, been off at the races as a kind of an internationally renowned facility.
The Americans generally set up the golf courses in a very similar way. They like it pretty open. They don't like tight fairways. And they cut down the rough. They don't want big, heavy rough. And they do like to have a low-scoring Ryder Cup where players can be on the attack. They feel that's better suited to the style of player the American team is. So we're expecting that. That's what they've done in every away Ryder Cup.
Maybe they'll surprise us, but I think the past would tell us that's how they're going to set up the course.
The European players now are more used to playing the States. Actually, most of the players that will be playing the Ryder Cup will be part of the PGA Tour here.
We have stats on Bethpage. They've had plenty of tournaments there, so we understand the characteristics that have performed well. You've got to be a good driver, you need a little bit of length. There's some of these things that we will all put into consideration when we have to pick those 6 players. So that's one of the factors that will go into the picks when I do these guys suit this golf course. I am visualizing, it's going to look and feel and sound completely different. I got to experience that in Rome, the energy, the passion. I've experienced it as a player, but as a captain, it's a little bit of a different pressure. But yeah, this is very quiet here, not getting heckled. It's a different atmosphere right now, but it'll have high energy when we get back here for the Ryder Cup.
One of the mistakes that we felt we made behind the scenes over the years, approaching away matches, was to try to look through the prism of what we did at home and try to replicate away from home.
Very good. It's all over. Once again, Europe have won the Ryder Cup.
It's clear we have a template at home. It's clear that we're very successful winning at home, but we do struggle on the road. We have struggled on the last few occasions, including losing by a record margin. So this Ryder Cup, we're approaching it from a different place. And one of the first throws of the dice in that regard was to put in a captain who had been there before.
It will be 2 more years. Luke Donald is staying on as the European Ryder Cup captain.
This is an amazing opportunity, amazing challenge. It's obviously going to be a lot more difficult to win away, but I've got 22 months to prepare and try and get the team ready to try and retain that cup in New York. Why I wanted to do the captaincy again was it hasn't been done that often, repeat captain. So there was an honor and a respect from the players that I got from Rome. They wanted me to come back, which meant so much to me personally.
2 more years! 2 more years! 2 more years! 2 more years!
I learned a lot about myself as captain, that I was able to fulfill that role in a way that led to victory. First of all, I had to understand that I didn't know everything, that I had to immerse myself in all the information around me. I had to read a lot of books, read up on leadership, talk to a lot of past captains to try and figure out how I could put my own mark on the captaincy, but also understand what great leaders before me had done.
Well, Luke was the first captain ever to give me a call and task my mind and what he was going to have in store.
I did call up Tony, I think out of respect for what he's done to the Ryder Cup and what he represents. And nobody's captained it for Europe 4 times, and nobody has won a Ryder Cup away and home. So why wouldn't you call Tony and figure out if there's anything you can glean from it?
Really, the only advice I could give Luke was be everybody's best friend. It's an amazing week for a captain. You've got this incredible one-on-one relationship with every player.
Luke Donald is the kind of captain that is very aware of the little details. He tries very hard to make the players feel comfortable, not just with the players, with the whole team, caddies and family members and so on.
Players respect him, former world #1, has had a great career as a player and a good career as a Ryder Cup player as well. Luke has a very wonderful head on his shoulders. He's a thinker, he doesn't leave any stone unturned. He's a great captain, there's no doubt about it.
I think we created something quite special, the relationship between the players, the culture, the way they saw each other, the atmosphere in the team room. And, they performed great.
huge. I mean, my gosh, what a putt.
You still need 12 players playing well on good form, but if you can add a great culture behind that, I think it creates a real collective, something that's going to be hard to stop.
You can't work hard enough as a captain to nurture that friendship, because these guys are all going out into the big unknown, as good as they may be. There's no hiding place out there on that golf course in the Ryder Cup. You are totally exposed.
The Ryder Cup captaincy has evolved over the years, there's no doubt about that. And I think we have led the way, if it's fair to say that, over the last 20 years in Europe in terms of how we've created a template and how we've looked at this in a strategic way.
If you're asking me to reveal the blueprint, the answer is absolutely no, because that's a secret and we want to keep that secret.
There's certain things we have in place, certain templates that are very successful, certain rituals, certain things that we do, Ryder Cup to Ryder Cup to Ryder Cup, and learnings that we've had, and we'll continue those. But you have to evolve, you have to adapt, you have to never stay still and just think that what we did in Rome is going to be good enough for New York. This is a different challenge, a different environment, and we have to evolve and adapt to that.
This is a big global event, and to go to big global cities adds an element that is magical.
New York has a magic about it. There's something about this concrete jungle that, you know, where everything is possible, and there's a theatre behind New York. In Rome, we had the narrative of the gladiator and the Romans and all the history that was there before. And ultimately, we had our own gladiators fighting on the golf course for glory. Now we go to New York, and it's a different stage. It's perhaps more linked with theatre and drama that goes alongside that. And the Ryder Cup, we are never short of drama. It's the ultimate stage.
New York in general is a big place to come. It's a powerful cauldron of sports fans and people who, you know, love their sport, love what the Ryder Cup represents. They're going to be very patriotic, very behind Team USA. It's going to be a tough environment.
We're expecting roughly 45,000 fans a day. I'm sure the demand, we could have sold 100,000 a day. New Yorkers aren't very shy, so I think they're going to be loud. They'll be able to hear them everywhere, I guess. You know, on this side of the road where holes 1, 15, 16, 17, and 18 are, it's going to be like Thunderdome over here.
It's going to be terrifying, I think, depending on what coloured shirt you're wearing. Everything is leaning towards the home team, and that momentum can carry through the week and basically act as a superpower, I suppose, for the home team. It's like they've got an extra player.
The US fans are going to be supporting the US team. And even though we do have a lot of players playing on the PGA Tour that they really know and support when they play a regular event, I'm pretty sure that that's not going to be the case this time around.
Good morning and welcome to the 43rd Ryder Cup.
You've got to be prepared for everything. You just got to be ready for it all. They'll all want to win more because of how tough it's supposedly going to be.
As long as you understand that it's going to be that way, then you can prepare, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I think communication is the key. You have to tell every player how good they are, how great they are, how valued they are, and instill confidence. The pressure can be overwhelming, but you got to try and enjoy it, embrace it, and say, this is what I've worked for 2 years. I'm here, I'm going to enjoy this, and not let the pressure take over.
It's a difficult thing to do, to go into such a hostile environment where all the crowd, certainly 90% of the crowd, are pulling against you. Golf is a kind of a game that you need concentration, and concentration can be broken so quickly and so easily. Luke will be putting a lot of weight behind players that have proved that they can play in a pretty hostile atmosphere.
Everything I'm trying to do now and what I've been doing the last years to hopefully get the guys prepared and ready for what's going to be an amazing Ryder Cup. New York, who doesn't want to play in one of the greatest cities in the world, one of the greatest team sports events in the world.
It's my honor to introduce the 2025 European Ryder Cup captain, Luke Donald. Let's give him a north side welcome.
The fact that I'm American, I know what it's like here. I know how wild and crazy we all are.
USA. Who said no?
I think Luke and I are both actually sort of excited about how intense it's going to be. I think also, like, how many more opportunities are we going to get to feel this level of excitement and anticipation.
You know what the best thing about the Ryder Cup is? On Tuesday and Wednesday of the Ryder Cup, you guys don't have school.
And I think you just have to embrace those moments, because they don't really come around that often, and you don't know when it's going to be your last, We obviously were asked to do it very early. I mean, Sunday of Rome. I was so tired. That was such a draining week. I said to Guy Kinnings, why would we do it again? We literally could not have done it any better than we did it. It went totally according to plan in every possible way. So why mess with that? But then I think we both just saw the challenge, and I think we sort of felt like, oh my gosh, Bethpage is gonna be so hard. And then we just sort of were like, oh my gosh, but what if we won, And I think we were both sort of excited for that. Yeah, just that opportunity. And I just was like, okay, great, 2 more years.
Still be pretty loud, they'll be just everywhere, all down the left. She plays a massive role, obviously we talk a lot about how we're much more stronger as a collective, and that's what Ryder Cup's about. We turn in from individuals to team members and creating a culture of team. And I couldn't do this without my wife, my partner, my soulmate. Interesting shaped green. She's so gifted in terms of creating an atmosphere that's going to be really fun for the wives, for the players, caddies, spouses, all that kind of stuff. So she's amazing at making people feel very comfortable.
Where would you hit it to? Where the bunkers are?
Back there, yeah, just sort of towards the end of the bunkers.
Our preparation for this Ryder Cup it's a little different. It's just a totally different atmosphere. We're going into a hostile environment. But I think now, having done this role once before, that gives you a lot of confidence because you've already kind of walked that path before. And I just think in life, when you go through something a second time, you have that little bit, you're more relaxed, you have that little bit of extra, like I've done it before. It's gonna be wild, but we're gonna survive. I think I could hit my 9-iron to there from the ladies' tee.
It's only for very skilled golfers, Diane.
We both love Ryder Cup so much, and we felt very strongly that we wanted to make it better and leave it better than we found it.
All right, homeward stretch.
I really feel like we accomplished that in Rome, and I think that this is just hopefully going to be an extension of that. So yeah.
Heard my speech. New York, let me hear it.
How you doing?
How you doing? Forget about it. You always try and learn every Ryder Cup. Even if you are winning, is there things that we could have changed? Is there certain things that we could have done better?
And it is Europe who wrestle back the Ryder Cup here in Rome.
A lot went right in Rome, but also you look back at 2016, 2021, what went wrong there?
The game is played on grass, not on paper. We have great players, and I think it's going to be really, really difficult for them, but not impossible.
It's going to bring a lot of emotion. It's going to bring a lot of comment, a lot of noise. The atmosphere will be fever pitched. We're expecting a very hostile environment, and we have to be prepared for that.
You want to give yourself every chance you can. He's aware of how intense it is for everybody, not least of all him.
He knows what it takes to win a Ryder Cup, even away from home. He was part of the 2012 Ryder Cup. He was the leading player on Sunday, so he knows what it takes to win away from home.
Oh, what a shot, Luke Donald!
He knows what it takes.
The fact that he is able to put his ego aside and keep that curiosity has really helped him be a great captain.
The learning process never stops. I think if you stand still again and you don't evolve, you don't adapt, you don't learn from your mistakes, then it can bite you in the arse.
I think with what Luke has already done, he can certainly be mentioned in the same breath as those great captains we've had. To go again and to have the chance to win away as well would write him into the history books. It's only ever been done once before. To do something truly historic will be a major motivator for him.
The European Ryder Cup captain.
The focus on this one will be immense. New York, great rivalry. America wanting revenge from Rome. It's an amazing setting. It's an epicenter of the world, and has all the makings of an amazing Ryder Cup.
Learn to get used to 2 or 3 hours sleep a night for that week as well, and so it goes.